Good morning. Welcome to Allen Avenue Unitarian Universalist Church's in-person and online worship. Whether today is your first time here or you've been coming for years, we're so glad you are with us. My name is Norman Stickney, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm a member of, I don't know, sorry. Building and Grounds. We are a growing community that transforms lives through the power of love. Our mission calls us to celebrate diversity, encourage spiritual growth, promote social responsibility while we travel on and care for the earth. A special welcome to those at home who are joining us on Zoom today. If you're attending for the first time, please go to our website and fill out the welcome card so we can know more about you. Announcements from the box, or that were handed to you. Social justice. New families with a total of 3 children were moved into the Family Promise Shelter just this week. If you haven't yet donated to the Giving Tree and would like to, please see Mary Michaels after the service. 4. Social Justice Committee will be leading discussions on the UUA Common Read on Repentance and Repair by Dania Ruttenberg. Books will be ordered in early January. If you would like to purchase the book at a discounted price, see Julie Harrison after the service. She's yay tall, gray hair. Oh, there, that's Julie Harrison there. Okay. The final fare total for the Artisan Fair was $11,000. Added it all up and deducted and stuff. We just threw Yahoo. For last week, thank you everyone for putting the chairs up last week. We had a special piano recital following the service that only needed a few chairs. And good news is we don't have to stack the chairs after the service today and can leave them down from now on for the Sycamore Church, who rents the sanctuary every Sunday. I just was taken aback there. I thought it was Sagamore, but it's Sycamore? Sycamore. Now we know. We'll get there. Now we invite you to take this opportunity to silence your cell phones so we can be fully present for one another. After the service, please grab a cup of coffee in the kitchen window and stay for conversation. I do the coffee a lot, or my wife does too. She mostly does it, but I help. If anybody else wants to do coffee, it's just one of the most spiritually uplifting things. And we'll just see me or my wife anytime, and just, you're in. We encourage you to find someone you've never met before and introduce yourself. Those on Zoom may stay and connect with one another. And now, let's center our hearts and minds with the ringing of the chimes.
The birds could spend their lives on telephone wires, feet under them sure and steady, writes the poet Sarah Speed. Or they could open their wings, leave the ground, and let the wind carry them home. I want to be like the birds. I want an open heart, open arms, open eyes. Give me a sky view, for I do not want to miss a thing. What a gift to be together this morning, dear church. For those of you I haven't met before, my name is Reverend Tara. I use the pronouns she, her, and they, them, and I am the transitional minister here at Allen Ave, UU, or A2U2. This December, this month of holy days and long, dark evenings, we as a congregation are working with the question, how does a weary world rejoice? Each of our Sunday services are one way of answering that question. How does a weary world rejoice? The first 2 weeks, we acknowledge our weariness and we root ourselves in ritual. And today, we allow ourselves to be amazed. We allow ourselves to be amazed. I have already been amazed. I have already been amazed. This morning we'll reflect together on how even when weary, allowing ourselves to be amazed by all that is broken and all that is beautiful can deepen our spiritual lives, ground us in our humanness, and even guide us into rejoicing. So come weary, come awe-filled, whatever you carry this morning, come and settle into our time together, this place where all are welcome, all are needed, and all are loved. Friends, come. You are joyfully called to worship.
As we light our sanctuary chalice this morning, those worshiping at home are invited to light a chalice or candle near you to connect us to one another. Spark of the Spirit, cupped in earth's embrace, light of love, alive in all creation. As we kindle this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life.
And we light a second candle this morning, a candle of community. Did you light that too? Yes. The red one. This morning, in memory of the lives lost in the Sandy Hook shooting 11 years ago, this past Thursday, and in honor of all lives lost to gun violence in our local community and beyond, may we pledge ourselves anew to the work of resisting violence and practicing peace. Let us take a breath together. And George will now come forward and help me light the Advent wreath. How does a weary world practice joy?
By dancing and throwing birthday parties, by hanging holiday lights and holding sleepy babies, by singing loudly and looking for good news, by telling the stories of our faith and showing up for our community.
There are a million ways to practice joy.
So today we light the candle of joy as a reminder and a charge. With love's help, may we bring joy into a weary world.
Our opening hymn this morning is number 244. It came upon a midnight clear. This hymn was written by the Massachusetts Unitarian minister Edmund Sears in 1849 with the goal of emphasizing the social message and more humanist teachings of Jesus and of the Christmas story. So feel those Unitarian roots this morning as you sing. Dale will play it through once, and then you're invited to rise in body or in spirit as we sing together. In a moment, I'm going to need some helpers, some people willing to get a little bit playful up here with these sticks in my bag. But before that, I invite you to imagine for a moment things that you love about being alive. Things about this life or in this life that amaze you. Let's hear some responses.
Crashing ocean waves.
Crashing ocean waves. Swimming in the ocean. Music, sunrise. Children, love. Kittens, new babies. Who? The bees. Birds. Fresh bread, hugging dogs. Happy dogs. Something? What? Natural wonders. There's so much in life that amazes us, so much in what you just said and in what you tried to say and I didn't necessarily catch, or that you didn't say out loud. And just by us saying these things, we together are strengthening and feeding the spirit of life. The spirit of life which enlivens everything around us, which infuses everything, including each of us. Everything that's part of the interdependent web of all existence that we know we are part of too. There's so much in this web of life that we love. And the spirit of life to me is like a force, a power of sorts. There's something strong about it. And there's also something delicate and fragile about it too. Because everything in this amazing wide web of all existence is balanced there just so, along with everything else. There's a fragile balancing quality to the spirit. And that's what I need some help illustrating today. So anyone in this room who's young at heart, young in age, maybe a child or a youth or a teenager, or like, I don't know, under the age of 40. You know, come on up here because I need some help. So I've got a bag of sticks. And I need everybody to take a stick. Everybody who wants to help. That's a pretty good one, Candace. Yeah. That's okay. Young at heart. Anybody else? The more helpers, the better. Yes, Sally. Come on forward. Do you want to take a stick? No, you don't have to. Okay. All right. So what I want to ask you to do is to try to balance this stick on the tip of your finger. Not necessarily vertically. Don't make it harder than it has to be. So try to, and nice. All right. So, okay, folks who are watching, what are they doing to help them balance that stick on their finger? You could also do your hand. Holding their breath. Holding still, focusing. What else? Adjusting. Okay, so staring aggressively. Okay, so friends, I'm going to ask you to now get as close to each other as you can while still balancing the sticks on your fingertips. So gather really close to each other, as close as you possibly can. What do you notice now? It's harder. You think it's easier? Look at that. Amazing. Because you're leaning on each other. All right. That's the illustration. So you can go ahead and put the sticks back in the bag, and my dog will enjoy those later. Thank you so much. Thank you. So one of the things about getting really close to each other and trying to balance those sticks, it can get easier, it can also get a little bit trickier because you have to pay attention not just to yourself, but to the people who are right next to you. You have to be more aware of your surroundings. And it is like that in this amazing interdependent web of which we are a part, isn't it? Everything is closely intertwined and balanced in the web with everything else. And we are fortunate to be able to choose to live and act in ways that strengthen that web, that allow us to balance the spirit, balance our lives, even when we're close and in relationship to other people. That precious balance that we are part of. So today, your invitation is to allow yourself to be amazed by that.
In a few moments, some of us will leave the sanctuary to enjoy religious education programming, but first I invite our lamplighter, Dolph, to join me in the pulpit. A lamplighter is entrusted to transfer the light of the sanctuary chalice to the lamp and then go forth to RE spaces where they will light the lamp there, or they will light the chalice there. Dolph will now light the lamp. I invite those going to RE to follow the lamplighter as we carry the flame, expanding our sacred space.
We are freely gathered, open, and welcoming faith community supported by your contributions. Each week, 1/3 of our offering is given away to a nonprofit organization whose mission aligns with our Unitarian University values. This month's Share the Plate is a little different. It's the Minister's Discretionary Fund, which provides confidential emergency financial assistance for members and friends. You can learn more in your order of service, e-news, or by asking Reverend Tara, sorry. Donations can be made now as the basket is passed through the donate button on our website, or if you're a member on Breeze. If giving through Breeze, please note if the donation is your pledge or a gift to our Share the Plate. If you're visiting for the first time this morning, please know that your presence is your gift to us. At this time, your offering will be collected and gratefully received.
While Noel sets up the music stand, I'm Lauren. I am her daughter-in-law. I'm married to Peter. I'm thrilled to be here, and I just gotta say, you all melt my cold, waspy heart. And I think my UCC conversion to Unitarianism is imminent. And also, my daughter, who only is a pandemic baby and just started preschool this fall and only just became comfortable with separating from me, off she went. You guys have really good vibes here. Thank you.
So, Lauren brought me some music, and we're going to play it, starting with something by the Waylon Jennings. And we've got our balancing sticks. We're going to try to not hit each other.
Also, this is a thing I've done since the beginning of time as a violinist. and I teach my students this, find the balance point in your bow. I don't know what in my brain was going on when I took the stick and was trying to balance it. Like, fun times with it. I hear a bird a chirping up in the sky. I'd like to be free like that, spread my wings so high. I see the river flowing, water running by. I'd like to be that river, see what I might find. I feel the wind blowing, slowly changing time. I'd like to be that wind that swirls and shapes the sky. I smell the flowers blooming, opening for spring. I'd like to be those flowers open to everything. I feel the seasons change, the leaves, the snow and sun. I'd like to be those seasons made up and undone. I taste the living earth, the seeds that grow within. I'd like to be that earth, a home where life begins. I see the moon rising, reaching into night. I'd like to be that moon, unknowing, glowing light. I know the silence as the world begins to wake. I'd like to be that silence as the morning breaks. I hear a bird a chirping up in the sky. I'd like to be free like that, spread my wings so high. I see the river flowing, water running by. I'd like to be that river, see what I might find. I feel the wind blowing, slowly changing time. I'd like to be that wind that swirl and shake the sky. I smell the flowers blooming, opening for spring. I'd like to be those flowers open to everything.
We could play hard and fast, not let anything touch us at all, keep composure, have all the answers. Or we could crack ourselves open and let everything in. We could feel everything, every touch, every marvel. We could stand gaping at the beauty of the world, mouths wide open, because sometimes a mouth wide open is the very best gratitude. We could laugh so loudly that the whole restaurant looks, and err on the side of goofy whenever possible. We could put our defenses down. We could grow soft. We could choose awe. We could take her by the arm. We could let her lead us all the way to joy.
The song we've chosen to share with you for the anthem today is called Hold You Dear. I placed piles of lyrics at the end of each aisle. I'm sure I didn't print enough copies, but if the lyrics want to make their way around, sharing with your neighbors, feel free. I had two things in mind sharing them with you. Speaking of awe, amazement, this song itself was released beginning of the pandemic, just as I had a newborn, and it's about love across generations. And as I listened to this song, I had that feeling of connection, like to this deep well of love that I now understood as someone who is dependent upon to care for another. And overall, the whole song just completely struck the chords in my soul and was really moving to me. So the real reason I shared you the lyrics is this is the strength of Noel Geneva. She convinced me to sing this song today. I've only just come to the point, found the courage in myself to be able to sing through this whole thing without crying. So if that starts to happen today, because this is like a really warm, welcoming space where the crying seems okay. If I start to cry, I invite you to please sing along with me. And there's, just like the song we just played, we're going to play through the whole melody instrumentally first, so you get a little introduction to the words. But also, we just wanted to share with you I wanted everybody to see these words because they're just beautiful.
And I'm really happy about the theme of amazement. The power of music is incredible, and I'm amazed. The first time I went back to sing with the children, I told Emily I'd do that. Candace and Roman and Carrie Rasco, we sang with the children Dona Nobis Pacem in 3 parts. That was really amazing. So it's just wonderful to be here with all of you.
All right. This is also my viola debut. my shadows long and my eyes are clear. I know these days will pass away, so I will hold you dear. I know these days will pass away, so I will hold you dear. You're a part of me and the one I love. The sweetest years won't tarry. You will reach for me when my arms are full, and I will lay down things I carry. And I will hold you dear. While my shadows long and my eyes are clear, I know these days will pass away, so I will hold you dear. I know these days will pass away, so I will hold you dear.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't really need to preach about amazement when we're all just in it. But I will. Poor Dale made the mistake of calling me while I was sermon writing this week. Well, actually, the real mistake he made was asking how it was going. I launched into a half-baked thought, trying to explain what I was trying to articulate, not particularly well, because it was half-baked. He asked me if I was splitting hairs, and I laughed and said, probably yes. Splitting hairs because, you see, there are a few different ways to think about amazement, different ways we can be amazed. To be amazed can mean to be overwhelmed or surprised by a sudden sense of wonder. It can have deeply positive connotations, that feeling you get when you're pulled into the present moment by something breathtakingly beautiful, tender, hilarious. A sunset, a piece of art, a piece of chocolate. The light coming through the window, when, in the words of Valerie Kaur, the line between you and everything else blurs. There's another way to think about it, too, that's related but different. Earlier etymological iterations of the word had less positive connotations. To amaze was literally to put into a maze, and used to express bewilderment in one's surprise, and naturally, therefore, belongs to that which is incomprehensible. Beautiful things can be bewildering and incomprehensible, and so can terrible things. And so there is this element to the word amazement, this concept of being amazed and in awe, that is in the realm of mystery. It touches that which is beyond language in positive and negative ways. And so to talk truthfully and honestly and deeply about amazement in its fullness does feel a bit like splitting hairs. In that, we are amazed by beautiful things and horrible things, and that we must allow all of it if we are to move from weariness to rejoicing. We'll start with the wonder. Think about a time you were caught by a moment of wonder or awe, a time you were amazed. Where were you? Who were you with? What did you feel? Was it ordinary or sacred or a bit of both? The brightest red leaf falling in front of you, the perfect sparkling snowflake landing on your hand. Early spring flowers breaking through the earth, the face of your child asleep in the back seat. A full moon on a clear night. The other day, I was a hot mess driving north on 95. I was driving a pickup truck full of boxes, and the tailgate wouldn't stay closed. It was dark and freezing cold, and stopping in the breakdown lane while getting passed by logging trucks ripping 80 miles per hour was terrifying. Just before that, I'd gotten trapped at a left-hand turn arrow that was stuck on red for about 5 cycles. There was a line of cars behind me honking. I was crying because I was so pissed. All of a sudden, I saw the most incredible shooting star fly across the night sky, and to nobody in particular, because I was alone, I said aloud, "Thank you." Cole Arthur Riley, in her book, This Here Flesh, reflects on wonder, writing that some wonders have a way of holding us even in the deterioration of our present world. And she continues, we must protect this. We must protect this. We must allow ourselves to be amazed, to protect our capacity to be amazed, because there is no shortage of amazingness in this world. But the miraculous can be easy to miss. She asks, have you ever watched a 3-year-old blow the wisps off a dandelion for the first time? Children are made of awe. She says, we have much to learn from them, but we seldom aim to. The words childish and juvenile are made derogatory, and we become overly connected and concerned with the serious. It is a feigned superiority. The tragedy is that as we distance ourselves from the delight of our youth, we become increasingly prone to disillusionment. Wonder and beauty are not precise cures for disillusionment, but they certainly can stave off the despair of it. She concludes, to reclaim the awe of our child selves, to allow ourselves to be taken up by the beauty of a thing, allows goodness to take up the space it's often denied in our interior worlds. And there is an element of choice here, of commitment, of practice, the commitment to not lose touch with that mystery that pulls us into presence and amazement, to not be too serious, to be overcome with delight and awe, to, in the words of our call to worship, not miss a thing. And this is somewhat complicated by amazement's depth of meaning. The fact that it can also refer to pure bewilderment in the face of a fact or a situation that isn't laced with wonder or delight at all. The fact that there are some things we'd actually rather miss, right? But perhaps unpopularly, I believe that we are called to allow ourselves to be amazed, bewildered, awestruck by life's most horrendous parts, too. Spirit of life, we prayed earlier, make our hearts porous. Porous meaning we take it all in, meaning we don't miss a thing. Many of you know that this past Thursday, a group of us from here at church attended a prayer circle outside Cabela's to remember the 26 lives taken at Sandy Hook 11 years ago, 20 of whom were children who would be graduating from high school this year. And to protest Cabela's continued sale of AR-15 style semi-automatic weapons and high-volume magazine clips to buyers as young as 18 years old. I am amazed that we still have to protest this, that we are still talking about it at all. I was amazed, bewildered, astonished at the incomprehensibility that we, a group of Quakers, Unitarian Universalists, and liberal Christians memorializing the lives of children, were heckled by a man holding a toddler. I am amazed by the notion that someone could look at that toddler, at the children of Sandy Hook, at the children and infants in Gaza, and see them as anything but our children. And it is painful to be amazed like that, to have a porous heart. How could allowing ourselves to be amazed like that possibly lead to our rejoicing? I am grateful that I am still amazed by the world's injustice and pain because it means that I am still awake, that I have not lost myself completely to the numbness that can protect us from the pain of our world. And there are times that jadedness and cynicism and dissociation are what we have to choose to protect ourselves when everything is too much, when we need some stability to be able to carry on, and that is okay. But when we harden our hearts for too long, when we, in the words of the poet, play hard and fast, let nothing touch us, keep our composure, there is so much we miss. When we cut ourselves off from the sorrow, we miss out on the joy. When we refuse to take in the realities of war, we miss out on the sweetness of peace. Human hearts are made to hold it all, to be cracked open and to let everything in. We must allow ourselves to be amazed by all that is broken, because most of it doesn't have to be this way. To allow myself to be amazed at this world's cruelty means that I am in touch with another possibility, with another way, and to allow myself to be amazed by all that is glorious, whole, and holy already in this precious life, that too takes guts, because it will pass. These days will pass away, but they're here now. They're here now, and we don't want to miss it. Cole Arthur Riley writes, I think awe is an exercise, both a doing and a being. It is a spiritual muscle of our humanity that we can only keep from atrophying if we exercise it habitually. It's not a lens through which we see the world, but our sole path to seeing. Any other lens, she says, is not a lens, but a veil. Any other lens than amazement, other than awe, is not a lens, but a veil. This manner of vision, she says, is what will keep us from destroying each other. It is with a porous heart, a radical openness to the reality of the brokenness and inexplicable beauty of this world right here and right now, of our interconnection, that amazing web, that we experience the fullness of our humanity, that we are open to everything, open to everything, and to be fully human, fully awake, fully alive. That just might make this weary world rejoice. May it be so. Blessed be. Our closing hymn is number 226. Come sing a song with me. We'll sing through just the first and second verse. Dale will play through once, and you're invited to rise, and then we'll join our voices as one. Anyone who thinks the minister in charge doesn't know how a church works. I was trying to get you closer to coffee because we're running over, but if the people want to sing, let the people sing. Spirit says, sing, family of faith, as you leave this place. You go into a weary world. So speak tenderly Do the good that is yours to do. Choose connection. Hold on to hope and allow yourselves to be amazed. Our worship has ended and our service begins. Go in love.